much is sure. So hand them over. I hear no objections, so...
I'll just step on them.
Well, see that? It's just looking around like, is everyone okay with this?
We could turn them into something useful and send them on their way.
Alright, we are not polymorphing everything.
But we could.
But we won't.
We can hand them over to our master, not necessarily the authorities, does Agony?
We'll let him do no. Well, apparently he is the authorities. He's looking at Barnabus.
He's rich, that means he's an authority.
If he can get some clout out of the thing. Alright.
Sounds like we hand him over. Hog, no objection? No? Okay.
So there's the three of them, yeah?
Barnabas looks at Amadeus. One of them didn't quite make it. There's two.
Grumpy look. It's about
I
as
was
far as you're
absent,
gonna
I
get.
swear.
Much safer, turn them into like a butterfly, let it flap away. So,
Yeah, I got a feeling it won't be bothering us again.
a frog.
Nor will it be an unkillable piece of vermin some poor rat catcher will have to deal with.
Sonny's over there. That makes him smile. He thinks it's hilarious.
Alright, so we will hand the prisoners over to the authorities.
Okay, the authorities being?
We will hand them over to...
We'll hand them over to Lord Verax Paladin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go and send for him, he shows up with some of his guards, and they shackle the Dark Creepers. They seem to know what Dark Creepers were. They brought the right size shackles.
Okay.
And they cart them away.
I think we're also just showing them the Shatterkai bodies so that they know.
Yeah, they can just to say, yeah, we did this for you.
And then,
Okay, Defrin suggests, and he points you towards the cemetery to dispose of them. There's a boneyard district, and he gives you the name of an undertaker.
okay. All right, now the lady's building. How much is a building worth?
Sorry, what? The building? The Happy Beggar? Yeah. It is a building, and buildings do
Have inherent value as a building in a city.
Yeah. The construction and the stuff in it, we're talking like 1,000 gold, maybe.
Okay. I think Brennos is buying the building
From AMSA?
from AMSA.
All right, let's see. Does AMSA rent, own, or squat? We'll say one is squat. She has no legal right to be there.
Oh,
Two is she leases it from a landowner. 3, she actually owns the building.
Yep.
2, she leases the building. She says.
Okay.
So, and
Who's your landlord?
In that case, the lease is probably 1/10 the value of the building, so it's 100 gold pieces a year to rent that spot.
Okay.
Do we get a discount once we point out that there's a portal to a dark, terrible, hell-like place in the basement?
Don't we like to have the dark portal to the dark, terrible, hell-like place?
I'm going to say at this point that Barnabas is like, what is this thing? And then he does all of his divinations.
Okay.
Because I'm tired of dancing around the time problem here.
Barnabas is all for leasing the place, and we can do that from slush funds.
Okay. Because, otherwise, Brennos was just going to like buy it as the evil place.
So Barnabas, you learn that, hey, it's this smuggler's gate is portable. Now you saw it. You're pretty sure the thing you saw in the basement is the smuggler's gate, which is You have the portal key for it. You don't know how many of these keys there are, but you have the key for it. It leads to the shadow plane, and portable. Brennos, you saw it as well. You're guessing that portable disc of strange dark metal, it's probably on the order of 3,000 to 5,000 pounds.
Portable means different things to different people.
Go on a wagon. It's portable.
To Barnabas, it's exciting because it's a portable gate.
Yeah.
Which means that the magics are so powerful that you could move the gate around it. It's not transfixed to one point in the weave, or in this case, the shadow weave.
Yeah.
With appropriate spells.
The gate is also a shadow weave item.
Awesome.
Could we? It's portable. Will it allow other magics to work with it, like pick it up and move it, like teleport around with it? Or do you have to physically carry it around?
Well, you kind of have to carry the thing around to use it. I'm right.
Yep.
But what it is you can move it from place to place.
That's interesting. Very interesting magic.
You might be able to teleport with it, but you'd have to lift it. That's the thing.
The lifting it's not that hard. I mean, it's hard.
We've got the characters to lift it.
We got people who can lift it.
Yep.
It's just
you might, if somebody lifted it up off the ground, then you could teleport with it. But it's a big unwieldy circle.
Okay, you have to put it someplace nice. Yeah.
You put it in someplace consecrated and.
Additionally, there's also like the ye olde tear into the shadow plane in there too, right? It's not just the portal.
Yep.
There's like that tear is a tear.
Yeah.
Like,
Barnabas will bring that up with the paladin too. Like, you need this to fucking cover that shit.
Yeah, dimensional lock. I think Fox gave us the planar lock or dimensional lock.
Yeah.
Hey, so yeah, with a bunch of spells, could pick it up and we could teleport with it, but it's not very practical.
No, it's more for this is you put it in a place, and I'm sure they were just using that until they got caught, and then we're going to move it again.
Probably.
Now the other thing is, at any moment, vile dark creatures could come piling out of there and attack us.
If only there was a nice thick wall to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, but some of them can teleport, so it's not really an impediment, is it?
Those, if they could teleport, then it wasn't a problem anyway. You weren't going to stop them. We could anger the place. We could forbid it or something. Use a nice powerful spell. Get a scroll. Use a really powerful scroll.
Here's the thing. Our employer wants us to get this mine up and running. So, what I suggest is we hand this portal over to him for the time being, explain to him the dangers of it and what can be done to prevent it from activating. And when he would like us to deal with the smugglers, we will deal with the smugglers.
We could break it.
If that's what his lordship desires.
Why does he get to decide?
Because he can also decide whether or not you get to kill brickhammers.
Even if he says we should destroy it, we shouldn't destroy it. We can just bring him any piece of rock that's been smashed.
I'm gonna kill them anyways.
Yeah, but this way you won't be hunted as an enemy of your own people. I see that as a bit of a plus.
Yeah, we'll play it nice. We'll play it your way for now, Barnabas. I say we break this stupid thing. If it's dangerous, it's magical, it's breaching between the planes. He looks at you like he's trying to...
Yeah.
The problem, Slake, is it's uneven right now. They can come to our plane, but we really can't safely go to theirs.
Well, we can. It's just gonna... He lifts the key, but it'll hurt.
I mean, the gate is the evening factor. I mean, the tear. If they're coming through the tear, then... I mean, I wouldn't want to go through the tear. I could experiment. I bet Armadillo could go through the tent.
Probably.
You look out the inn room where you guys are gathered. You can see Amsa feeding Armadillo. The 22 charisma Armadillo.
It's the cutest thing
It's
ever.
so cute. So he goes, and then goes back into the room for a serious chat.
Is she all cured of her?
Yeah, she's cured. Well, we'll say a few days have gone by at this point, and she's all cured.
Okay.
She understands that these shadow people did bad things. They killed her husband, and they had been charming her to what better place to run the guild than under like a nice lady's soup kitchen, effectively.
Now, does she want to have a new soup kitchen?
She says that people still need help. So
Brennos will sponsor whatever soup kitchen she wants.
okay.
The Steelrose Expeditionary League would like to donate 500 gold pieces from the slush hunt to helping the poor.
This is... Brennos feels like, hey, I did all the things I wanted, and I didn't get poorer. That's awesome.
Okay, she ends up asking Sunny if she can keep the armadillo because it's very cute.
It probably won't go missing. We could probably talk to it when we need to be honest.
Yeah, certainly you could look after her for us.
All right, she wants to establish the Happy Armadillo Soup Kitchen in the Nine Bells district because that is one of the districts that needs assistance.
Perfect. And it's close to the temples, so which is good.
Yep.
Perfect. Yes. There we go. See, we didn't have to... And nobody's head got to get stepped on, except for that one guy who flashed into like a lightning bolt. But you know...
Except for him, yeah.
All right.
The Darkstalkers are flashbangs. You just kill them.
So subtract 500 for your startup
donation
funds, and then the 100 as you guys are now renting the Happy Beggar because you don't want people to have access. You're closing down the business and renting the spot so that you are the ones that have access. Plus Lord Deverek's men, although they haven't seemed to wanted to or have gotten through the walls of stone that Sunny has put up.
If they want to get through them, they can certainly go through. It's just stone, but
okay. It feels like things are put into a state where you're allowed to continue your downtime. You finish crafting and selling. Mm-hmm. There are a couple of like things that you have earmarked as special stuff that you want to do. Thogrim, Ahmed, welcome back.
Thank you.
You said you wanted to have a look at the Iron Golem body.
Yeah.
This is the body that you guys took of the dwarven Iron Golem from the Nexus and dragged it all the way back to Overlook. Slake is also interested in poking at the Iron Golem body because he recognizes some of the joints and the same styles of construction that went into his form. And he's around. He asks Thogrim, "What are you gonna do with it?" You guys are in, we'll say, like a back storage area in the inn.
Well, Slake, to be honest with you, my master has one of these. And this would be quite useful for me to having... See, moving the cannon around myself is kind of a problem, yeah? So I was hoping to restore it and have it... Maybe replace one of its arms with a cannon. I don't know, but...
Is it magical?
I don't know. I think it is, but I don't know. I know it takes magic to make it, but itself might. It is resistant to magic. I do not know if it is.
I was thinking I could use some of its parts to, make me stronger in some way. But if you're saying it's magic, fucking thing, kicks it.
Well, Well, perhaps I can take that poison pot. You know, you could use that if you want. I could try if you want my help.
Is that magic?
I'll detect magic on it.
So in its current form, the Iron Golem does not radiate magic. Give me a Knowledge Arcana.
No arcanas.
You have no Knowledge Arcana. Okay.
No, I have it, of course. Thogrim. With the rolls I make, it's 23.
So right now, the body is just because the magic of the golem is broken, and the body is also a separate component of the golem, that part is also broken. There are 2 steps to repairing this thing.
It's building the actual physical form and then putting the magic into it.
Yeah, so right now the Iron Golem body, which is about 5,000 pounds of iron smelted with rare tinctures, is a 10,000 gold piece iron body. Because it's destroyed, repairing it will cost 3,333 gold pieces. And then you have to re-knit the magic together to restore the golem itself. And that will be a different cost with a different craft check.
Okay, so I could fabricate that very quickly.
You could fabricate the first part, yes.
Yeah, it's the second part that I have to research. Maybe with my master, if he's sober.
So is it magic or not?
The body itself is not. The golem has 2 parts. It's got a magic that runs it, but it has to run something, which is basically just this foam. Right now, it's not magic. You know what, Slake? Take what you will. What's left over, I will replace and try to build myself.
If Slake starts cannibalizing the golem, you're going to have to actually replace the stuff he takes.
How effective, how useful is this to you?
It's too big. Yeah, I was going to melt some of this stuff down, but I got other stuff. If you're saying this thing's fucking magical, I don't want a piece of it.
Well, magic was running it. But,
Damn.
Tell me what you're looking for, and I can work with you. I can help you make it. Wouldn't mind. It wouldn't be now, but whenever you feel like it, I'd definitely like to help you. Come on, dwarf.
All right, I'm just gonna watch whatever you do. Maybe I'll learn something. You gonna mend it back up? I'd start by he's describing the process to reform its armor, but you're like, I have a fabricate spell. I'm just gonna do it that way.
That is the old way, but I learned a magical way. It would only take me minutes.
Okay, it is a DC 21 craft armor check. Or,
DC 25?
Or craft weapons check. No, DC 21. Just to repair the physical structure of the golem.
I automatically make it.
Because you're using fabricate, I'm going to, you don't have all the parts, some things did fall out, but I'm going to reduce the cost of repairing its physical form by half. So it'll cost you 1,600 gold pieces. Because you do have to provide a little bit of extra material where you chunked some of the material out.
1,600 gold pieces?
Yep. This can come out of just magical crafting cash. In fact, there is probably some slush funds in the back.
There's some.
Slake, if you weren't going to reanimate the golem with magic, he might actually offer up some of his own metals that he's carrying around, but he doesn't. He's just watching what you're doing.
Okay, so 1,600. Mark, I don't actually know where that is. Could you take the 1,600 off?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Spell components or alchemical?
Either for this thing.
I'll do spell.
Okay.
More of those.
So, now.
Well, you got
What's
to
the
mix it up.
cost?
Where are your tools? What forge are we going to do this in? We're not going to do this here, are we? He sees you putting the materials
Sorry.
on the golem.
Sorry, Slake. This is the magical part that you don't like. It saves me time.
Ah, fuck.
But you're right. If I didn't have this spell, I would do it the good old way. Forge, melt it all down.
You are a gnome.
Cool.
He kicks a rain bucket. It explodes and he storms from the room.
Oh well, too bad. Fabricate.
All right, and you make a DC 21 craft armor or weapons check.
Yeah, I have a plus 25, so.
All right, so now the body of the constructed golem has been structurally remade. The missing part of this is, give me another DC. This one's a little bit tougher. A DC. You're not.
Is it Arcana?
This is an Arcana check. Yep.
Okay.
This would be 26.
31.
Okay. To craft a golem,
I have a feat, you know. Just saying.
so to do this from scratch would be $150,000. You already have 10,000 gold pieces of
Oh,
of
fuck.
the golem. So I think it's 140. Divide by 2 is 70,000.
Okay.
Divide by 3, because it's just repairing a broken thing, is 23,000 gold pieces.
You could honestly borrow that from Slake if you could.
I have 20.
Convince him.
To completely repair the golem. Now, I need one more check to understand something else.
Can I get some synergies here? Because I have a lot of crafts.
Yeah.
Like
do you have 5 ranks in either weapon or armor?
yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a +2, and then I'm going to give you a +4 because you're working on the very golem itself. Like, it's right in front of you. So that's a +6.
For my which? Arcana?
Yeah, one more Arcana. This is
Plus 6.
an important roll.
$40.
When you finish repairing the magical component of the Iron Golem, it is going to get up and resume its programming
I need to reprogram it.
as the original crafter of the golem.
So I need a control rod. Or
A DC 40 also says a special type of golem can be created called a shield guardian that provides you with a control rod that allows you to, or the holder of the rod, to issue magical commands. It is a template that is added to a golem that costs 25,000 gold pieces, so 12,500 on top of the base golem cost. However, a completed golem cannot later be upgraded to this function as a shield guardian. This is a decision you need to make during its creation. Now, what do you think this thing's programming was?
Protect the room. Make sure no one enters the room.
If you place this thing into a room, you could likely get a guardian out of it. The problem is you don't have any control over the guardian.
Yeah, this is useless to me. I need to make it a shield guardian now. Because there's going to be cannons on this puppy.
Okay, so Thogrim is now like learning cannon, like sort of golem craft. Does Thogrim have any way of controlling someone else's construct? Because this is somebody else's magic right now.
I need to talk to Barnabus.
That is an amazing thing to do when you have Bardzor. All right, so you're like, okay, I've done a thing. I'm partway through. And you're like, wait a second. It's going to get up and guard the room.
It's going to guard the part of the bar that we're in.
Yeah, right. How do I make this my shield guardian? Oh no, that's a thing you need to like wire in from the beginning. Can you hijack this creature? Like how much of this? So with your 40, so far you're like, I could take it apart. This is the magical component, and use the components to try to rebuild my own new iron golem. But that's going to be much more expensive than just fixing a destroyed one. Because then you have to pull it apart, use it as components, add some more money, and then add the shield guardian component to put it back together. This is still ahead of, like, you're not still going to pay 75,000 gold pieces. You're going to get a lot of, like, money out of starting from scratch. But you're basically going to have to hollow it out and put it back together again.
Yeah, I need to speak with Barnabus about this.
Okay. Thogrim, cap in hand, approaches Barnabus.
My dear friend, companion, blood brother.
He wants something.
Why? I am not a piece of bread, so save the butter.
Good, because I'm very horrible at these things.
He visits you at the library.
I need you to take a look at the golem. I've fixed the body, but I'm afraid of turning it, putting the magic back into it. All it will do is resume its, original command.
Right, so
I need to figure out how, actually, to turn it into a shield guardian.
shield guardian from an already
Yes, the programming
formerly
is
active,
conflict.
but let me think. Barnabus will take 20, get aid, and add 1d6 because he wants Thogrim, a fellow smarty pants, to think he is a smarty pants. So that's 66.
So there are multiple spells. There are some magic items.
Oh, and Aemon can help at this level.
Nice.
Can I aid?
How do I aid?
Sure. Yeah, you could help him with the question you're asking.
+4. Aemon doesn't aid, but he doesn't help either.
Doesn't hinder. Yeah.
Doesn't hinder. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, did you help me? Sorry.
Yeah, I auto aid.
All right. So, 77. 79.
It's generally very difficult to control someone else's golem. There is, for example, there's a 7th level spell called Control Construct, which allows you to control a construct as a concentration power.
That's awesome.
It's awesome, but it's also not the long-term thing that
No.
Thogrim needs. Yeah, Barnabas quickly comes to the conclusion that without some sort of artifact or even more powerful spell, Thogrim needs to start from scratch. But could probably reuse a lot of the components from the golem itself to do so. There is a book called a...
You got the microphone by your nose again, Mark. Thank you, sir.
called a golem manual that makes it easier for you to craft a golem of a specific type and allows you to increase the caster level for purpose of crafting the golem.
Okay. Golem manual?
An iron golem manual is 35,000 gold pieces. You're pretty sure that there's some math to be done. You're pretty sure that Shield Guardian plus rebuilding from an existing golem is going to pretty much cost Thogrim that amount anyways.
Are you sure you want to build a golem? I mean, Slake's just gonna smash it.
Well, this item, this thing, I'll give it 2 of my cannons, you see. And a seat.
I mean, there's other
79. There is like a near artifact as well. I don't know if you're even bothering describing this to.
The diadem of control.
Yeah, yeah. The 189,000 gold piece.
No, because it's cheaper to just make the golem from scratch. So at that point,
Yeah.
94 grand? Shit.
So let's do some math. Barnabas is able to. He takes out an abacus that's in the library and starts doing math for you. And I've got my digital version of the abacus right here. Okay. So normally, you've got the body all intact, so that's fine. Normally, this would be craft cost 70,000. You have a golem that you can punk stuff from. Huh. Okay. And then you're adding Shield Guardian on top of it?
Mm-hmm. Now, just a quick question. Do I have to every round concentrate on the rod?
No,
or is it just
no, it
follows my...
It follows your commands.
You spend an action to command it, just like most of the things.
It becomes controlled. It can't go berserk as long as it's within 30 feet of the amulet. That's a concern if you have one of those types. Shield Guardians gain fast healing 5. As long as the Shield Guardian and amulet are on the same plane, the Shield Guardian can locate the amulet's wearer. Like the golem can just move towards the amulet. You get a plus 2 AC whenever the golem is next to you. It's got a shield other ability, a spell storing ability, and it costs 12,500 on top of the 20 grand it'll cost to reconstruct the golem from scratch.
So 20 grand and so 32.5.
You can, give me a second. 140,000 divide by 2, salvage, divide by 2, plus 12,500.
Now, I can command it.
It'll cost you 47.5.
Ew.
And you have a CR15 Shield Guardian fast healing Iron Golem.
47.5, huh? Yeah.
Create something that's theoretically more powerful than you.
So the money's a problem.
Here's the template for
the DC is the problem to craft this thing.
Yes, the DC to craft it. Do you have Cloud Kill?
No, but I can just get the spell.
Do you have Gia's Quest, Limited Wish, polymorph any object?
I would be able to find those scrolls or pen them in. That's the idea.
Assuming you don't have those 4 spells, the DC of this is...
What are the spells again? The template.
No, the spells of just the Iron Golem are listed at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 20. The DC is 26, it would be DC 46.
Okay, with the Crafter's, what's it called? The Alchemist Potion?
Crafter's Fortune?
Yeah, Crafter's Fortune plus 5.
Right.
My highest one is Craft Siege Weapons, which is actually, I wanted to put a cannon on them.
Craft sculpture, craft armor, they're all the same. They're all at 25.
So you're cannibalizing Iron Golem to craft a Shield Guardian Iron Golem. Is 47,500 DC at your level 46. Craft check. Craft arms or weapons check.
So, craft construct. So, Cloud Kill I don't have. To limited wish polymorph. So those 4 spells are making it how much? Plus 5 each?
Yes.
So getting those spells would make it a joke.
Yep. And then the book, the book, if you were able to buy it and find it, is 35 grand plus 12,500 for the. It's the same cost. Okay, I did my math. All right. The Golem manual is like having all the components on hand, except it heavily reduces the DC.
Yeah, I would request to find those spells from our employer.
One will be a problem, but the other one should be fine.
I don't need all of them. I have a plus 25 with Crafter's Fortune, be plus 30. So if I could get 2 of those, maybe some aids.
So it sounds like you were going to. So you did some research with the Golem, which is a few checks, and then search for spells is the rest of your block of time. Let's see what. Well, okay. What are the levels of the spells you need to find?
Cloud Kill is my level.
Cloud Kill is
5th. Quest Geese Quest 6. I can cast that.
Polymorph any object is 8th.
Yeah, and then Wish is what, 9th?
Wish is 9th.
Yeah, so I can get 2 of those.
And Wish is expensive.
It's limited Wish.
Oh, limited Wish is 7th.
Yeah, I don't have 7th. I have 6th.
I'm looking in Overlook. So you're spending time purchasing. Purchase limit, that amount. Okay, so give me a percentile, 70 or below. You find the first scroll, which is the Cloud Kill.
Yes.
You find the Cloud Kill. It costs 1,125.
Okay.
What's the next spell? And that takes a day to search the markets.
Next spell is the Geist Quest.
Which is what level?
6th.
6th.
Okay. They do have arcane casters that can cast 6th level spells, so there's a 70% chance that this is on the market.
It's here.
It is. So the Gias quest spell is 1,650 gold pieces.
1,650.
That takes you 2 days to find.
Okay. Can I use scrolls to cast the other ones?
You could,
Well,
or you could skip the components and make the DC harder.
Yeah, if I have 2 of those, that means it's 46 becomes 36.
Correct. The DC goes down with those 2 scrolls.
So I have 36.
And you can take 10 on your craft check.
So 25, 30, so that's done. I can craft it.
Okay.
You might want to pin those things in your spellbook in case you want
to
fix them later when he explodes again.
I'm putting
you're actually going to learn the spell. So the other 2 days are you learning the spell, and now your block of time of researching repair of the golem has actually turned into partially getting the things you need to repair the golem.
It's not going to happen yet. I only have, 15 grand now.
But if he
You learn
pens those scrolls, he doesn't have the spells to make the golem until he can cast them.
He can cast them.
I can cast them.
You can cast limited wish?
No.
No. I'm not
Oh.
getting all of the spells. I'm just getting some of them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he made it easier for himself to craft, which is good.
To the point where he can do it now.
Yep. All right, Barnabas's next research was rune crafting or castle in the swamp. Which one do you want to do now?
We'll do rune crafting because we've got stuff to get rune crafted.
We got a crafter that needs to get crafting, right?
Okay. You start asking about rune crafting, and you're using the Oakheart Library as your research tool.
Yep.
Okay, give me a. Well, from what angle are you talking about rune crafting? What is rune crafting, or who in?
Iconic lines of rune crafters amongst dwarves.
AKA who?
Yeah, exactly. Who? What dwarves are known for?
Who will teach me their secrets because I told them to?
Okay, give me your knowledge local, or no knowledge nobility, either one.
I think knowledge local is better for Elserville. I'm almost guaranteeing it. It's just not maxed out.
You put ranks in Elsier Vale already?
Yep.
Cool.
All right, so I will take.
I just moved here and I know everything.
I will take. I will take 20, and that gives me 50.
Okay, the collection of clans of dwarves in Elsier Vale are. This is a touchy point with the Imperium. Many of the clans, once they found out about this magic, have requested to the Imperium, who keeps runecrafting under strict control, for access to one Lexicus runewrite of Foundry, to learn from him as an apprentice. They're disgruntled with the Imperium right now because there is a long list and dwarves are not being given priority. The person that manages this request, or that they've beseeched many times, who they suspect is also interested in runecrafting, is the highest official in all of Elser Vale, and her name is Imperial Administrator Yazel Brist.
All right, so there's no one then.
Not unless somebody has stolen that knowledge that was imported to this world from by Imperial permission. No. The dwarves have even started saying, yes, but we believe that this was our ancient way. Like they're actually claiming that it's our ancient way, therefore give us priority to learn this magic, because this is ours. And it's this weird political tense thing that's going on right now on Foundry. To think you walked into this dude's shop and just got shit done. You started to realize you had a really, really good thing there.
Yeah. All right.
Well, we know who we need to get to teach you.
Yeah, do you know anything about Imperial Administrator Yazel Brist?
No, but we know somebody who does do it.
Well, he can make a roll, is I think what Marty's getting at.
Yeah, that's not the knowledge nobility.
Yep.
I will take 10.
Got a 92.
You know what? I am going to roll, because this one weird person. Every now and then it's just fun to roll. Knowledge nobility. Plus 27. I will add, however, my inspiration points. So.
Okay.
1d6. 27. And I got a 47.
She is of an imperial bloodline. Like, she's actually a true Imperial. Not from, like, the family or the collection of families that sits around the Undying Emperor, but, like, she's related to those people.
Okay.
She's a very charismatic and shrewd politician that chose the post as administrating Elsir Vale.
Okay.
Like, it was awarded, like it's almost like she earned the post and kept it, even though there might be more important or more powerful posts that someone of her ability could have gone after. And you're beginning to suspect that she has an appreciation for magic, and perhaps administrating a realm, a protectorate, that has multiracial heritage type magics.
It's got the rune crafter, the mythal, and
well, the elven mythals, and then there's dwarven magic, and then, well, they're arguing over right now. Like, she may not even have access to Lexicus, because Lexicus is in Foundry, and Foundry is part of a duchy.
Does Barnabus know Lexicus had to pack up? Yes, we do. Yeah, I think he does. He directly spoke to him.
So you know that all the dwarves have been petitioning the leader of Elsir Vale, and for whatever reason, things have stopped there. The buck has stopped there at this point.
Okay. All right. Barnabas is not personally extra concerned about it, but he will let everyone know that there's basically one guy that does it, and he got drafted. So, pony up the coin or teleport to him and hope he has time.
If you're telling me you have someone who can do it, can you get me an introduction? Perhaps he needs something, and it would be a favor, 1 for 1.
Yeah, he's under the thumb of the Imperium. They made him pack up his shop and go off to war.
Yeah, yes, that's fine. I've been around camps. We can go in and out, and they wouldn't have a clue. So many of them. Besides, we're teleporting. Now, if I can learn from him, I give him. They can just say I'm an aide.
Well, no, you don't understand. He won't just teach you.
Yes, that I'm aware of. I need someone to introduce me to him.
No, he won't just teach you. You have to be granted access to the learning.
Oh, he got it the official way. Shit.
We could just go take him.
Well, we could, but then we could never give him back.
Who are we taking?
We're not taking anyone.
That gnome that did things with our weapons. The one that
Yeah,
could
no,
scrape
you
runes off.
have no idea how lucky you were to have access to him in his shop. Alright? None.
Well, yeah, we can't do it anymore.
Precisely, because he's the only one at this point, apparently, so...
Well, we borrow him, Thogrim learns it, and then we give him back.
Yes.
What do you think happens when we give him back? They're just going to say, oh, you were gone for a while? Oh well.
And you use your mind.
Yeah, that only works for 5 minutes. I know it's a 5-minute lesson.
It's a 5-minute kidnapping.
Barnabas, you'll share memory.
Agony grins. All he'll know is he's locked in the room with the dwarf.
Barnabas, 1 second. What if we capture the memories of him learning and impart those to me while he's asleep?
Magic! You learn it the hard way.
Yeah, unfortunately, this one I have to agree with Slake. You can't just learn an entire skill set, especially not something as complicated as runecraft, with a 5-minute memory, even a series of them.
Do you have a better idea?
Why don't we wish for it?
Well, you could do that, sure. No harm in wishing.
Well, find a wish.
Say
find
wish
a
everyone's
crafter
butt
that you
buckles
have the
up.
skill, and wish for you to have the knowledge bestowed upon you. That would only take 5 minutes.
Yes, if we come across a wish scroll and it happens to end up in your possession, by all means, wish for the skill. We can insert your name as a request to learn this.
Perhaps that would be the wisest course right now.
Talk to Lord Dverak. Perhaps he can move your name up the list.
Okay.
Alternately, we could get you some examples, and you could reverse engineer the process in the old-fashioned way. You know, figure out how to do it.
Yeah, that would take a lot of research and trial and error.
Probably a few decades. You know, kingdom's worth of wealth, a couple of decades of time.
And a bunch of broken curse +1 weapons lying everywhere.
Check out this spear. It pokes you in the bum.
Somehow pokes you back there. It's a back scratcher.
Gently, gently.
I'll make my way to Lord Verak.
Okay, your conversation with Lord Dverak is he thought you were going to arrive here to talk about the shadow stuff, but he's surprised and pleased that you think that you could learn it, and he sends off missives to the imperial capital of Elsir Vale, which is Denevar, to put your name in the running.
Dude, if you learn this, he's never letting you go.
I know.
Pretty much.
It was surprisingly easy. In fact, you got Lord Dverak even more excited. To the point where part of the conversation, he's like, keep care of yourself in battle. We don't want someone as learned as you falling.
Everyone says that. Wash for your hands. Careful with your hands.
Do you know what Brennos gets when it's time for battle? Go get him, Tiger!
Get in there,
Precisely. All right. So we've done Brennos. We've done repair golem, and we've done some research into runecrafting, which also involved Thogrim. Let's go to Brennos visiting temple. Which temple do you go to, Brennos?
Morden. Go to Morden. You
And
need to talk to him.
And this is days after the shadow gate thing. So what god are you worshiping the day that you go and ask questions?
Actually, Baranar True Silver, because we are now invested in a soup kitchen. So we're following that of community and healing.
Okay, and then which temple are you going to?
So there's the Temple of Moradin. Where's the is the Temple of Moradin where the Dirk-Kick hangs out? I'm looking for like.
So
like, I don't necessarily want a Moradin.
The
guy.
beating heart of religious activity in Overlook is a gigantic temple called the Temple of the Stone Anvil. That is a temple to Morden. That is where the high priest Durkirk Forgeheart runs the religion.
Yeah.
The dwarves were so invested in this temple that they somehow convinced the Imperium to off to the side build their temple to the Five-Faced God, and this is like the cathedral at the center of town. You learned the worship of Moradin
From
and Morndin
Divine
Salmon
Knot.
from a very small, older stone temple in the Divine Knot.
Yeah, so that's where I go.
Okay, so I'm just gonna force you to the larger temple map just because I have all the religious people on that map, but
That's okay.
Overlook.
Brennos is not Mr. Big Britches.
So
He's got
that's
short,
the
britches.
massive edifice of the cathedral. That's the height of people.
It's loading.
Okay.
Apologies. Okay. I see it.
That's the main temple. But you go to the side temple, and I'll just clear a spot off to the side. And
Yeah. No, I don't go to the That is a overcompensating dwarf door. If I've ever seen an overcompensating dwarf door.
You're pretty sure it may have been a temple to the leader of the giant pantheon beforehand, and then to show the might of the Mornden salmon, they kind of restamped and reconsecrated that
that
temple.
rune giant could have walked through there with his arms in the air. Like the rune giant could have walked through that door with a pole arm.
Yep.
From an engineering standpoint, looks drafty.
Yes.
The hinges on this are made out of some would be the size of me. Like, the diameter will be 3 foot around. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Okay. The temple of Moradin in the Nine Bells district. It's named that because there are 9 temples in the district. They're minor religions or minor temples. Your temple, actually, there is a hustle and bustle around the stone temple, as it looks like there's scaffolding all throughout the temple itself, and workers working. You can hear saws and people cutting stone, and picks going off. It looks like it's in the midst of a major renovation. You do hear some bells inside, and it does feel like, despite the hustle and bustle, there's still like services going on.
Okay.
When you
Walk
arrive,
in. Yeah.
yeah, when you arrive, there is a. At first you're like, funeral? No, this is an end of life ceremony that is going on at the Church of Morden, or the Temple of Morden.
Ooh.
Give me a second. I wrote this on a pad of paper that's in the living room. I'll be right back. I also need to take a bio break, but I'll be...
Pee-pee.
Yeah.
Pee-pee time.
How's up? I'm right here.
How? So, you're adding like one cannon on the shoulder, or are you adding on a back mount? Are you placing an arm with a cannon? Is it like? Are you turning this thing?
He
into
might
like a
turn into
warrior?
a tank. So this thing is gonna have one seat, actually 2 seats on its back, and because I'm gonna have a simulacrum, and 2 cannons added to its shoulders. I think it can still carry that. 6,000 pound each.
6,000 pounds each.
Wait, no, they're 6,000 gold pieces. I think actually I think it is 6,000 pounds as well.
Here, let's just figure out the strength of these things.
Or I just turn his arms into cannons and. There you go.
Large strength 32.
No.
Strength 32 would be 2,000, and then large would be 4,000. I think you might want to also try to get it like a an ant haul equivalent.
Yeah, constant ant haul.
Yeah, so that it can actually carry 2. It'd be barely carrying 2, or be carrying 1 effectively, right? It can carry 2, but it's like way, and it'll always be in its heavy load.
What if I? Well, can I teleport with this thing? Command it to turn off its SR, except the teleport.
Yeah. There's this there's a dance with that we'd have to figure out. Hephaestus used to do that, but Hephaestus I think had an int. Wait,
All
it's
right.
got no int. So.
You're at the part of the ceremony where everyone that the dwarf knows who's here will come and give their best or say final words with the recipient of this great honor that is a end-of-life ceremony. Give me a knowledge religion, priest.
Okay.
You can add 4 because you're like a priest of your pantheon.
Okay, so I'm not identifying a creature, so... 21.
This is only done for for rich people that have lived a full life.
Oh, we know who this is.
We'll wait for Adam to come back here.
Mark. Oh, you guys can't hear each other?
No, he's recovering lost connection.
Yeah, so I can hear you guys. You can't hear each other. Good, great, grand, wonderful. Good times. Some of you drop and join back in.
And he's back.
Well, oh, there.
Told you. Just wait. Patience is the key.
That's exactly what you told us to do. Instead of clicking buttons.
Check the tapes.
Oh goodness! This is an old ceremony. Oh, an old ceremony that was brought from the dwarven homeworld. This is rarely done. There are some that don't believe it's the right thing to do, and it would only be like you've done all the things that you want to do as a dwarf and received all the accolades and honor, and then you'd have to convince the priest that, like, effort was put into this.
I'm done.
The politest thing to do is to step in line and have final words with this dwarf who's sitting up at the front, off to the side of the altar of Moradin. You wince a little bit as some of the assholes outside are still hammering. It is the part where people are chatting and like talking to him one-on-one, but you do see Ancestor Karos is the one running the ceremony. Khalad looks like he's already spoken, and he approaches you. Brother? Bone chest. It's the clan. They're really... It's a bit dark for me.
It is a tradition, not common.
His wife died about 10 years ago.
That'll weigh heavy on one's soul.
Well, that and his grandchildren have already taken over the family business. Half people in line there are bone chests. He had something interesting to say, though. You should probably get in line. He spoke about some battle. Old man like that's probably having a hard time lifting an axe. He'll need Ancestor Karos's help to, pick up his own axe, probably. Yeah, I hope I never get that old. I hope that's the gods call me before that.
Never really given it much consideration, really.
My sword.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's taken a liking. He sort of half draws it and then sort of puts it back. It's like super shiny. It's a difficult time the last few weeks, Sorry about the temple. The monastery.
Yeah, we've had some ceremonies and we'll put them to rest when we can. Their families have been notified. Any word on whether or not we could fix our Lord's mind?
I think it's something that we can do, but we don't have the power at this point.
Big dragon.
We need to...
That kind of took us for surprise. Although it sort of makes sense with what you saw in the cloud realm.
Aye.
Who knew?
I think it was touched by... I think he was touched by the betrayer, if you know what I'm saying.
Foul things indeed. He thinks you're speaking in metaphor. He doesn't actually think it's
Like, actually touched by actually. Like,
yeah.
Well, at least now I'm not lying. So if he didn't get it right, then I'm not lying about the thing, so I can feel better about myself.
All right. You
Don't
get
you judge me.
That's not how telling the truth really works. I just like to point that out.
all right. There's a line of his family and clanmates and priests and fellows and people from the neighborhood and craftsmen he's likely dealt with and friends, people that just are curious might also be in the line. Petitioners of Moradin. The line is long, but when you get into the line, Brennos, you notice that people recognize you. They see your beard rings, and they start like, "Oh, please, I'll go after you."
Okay.
One guy does that and overhears, and apparently when they turn around, they see a priest of the Moradin salmon with accolades of the latest campaign that is fresh in everyone's mind. No one wants to be the dick who stands in front of the war hero, making him wait. They all begin to step aside.
Okay. He's...
Which means that there's a whole chamber full of people looking at you.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's, I'm just in here to confess, so I will move to the front of the line in a ceremonial fashion.
Oh yeah, it's an old dwarf. He's so old that he probably didn't walk with his own accord into this place. He's on a wheeled chair. He's got a blanket across his lap. You do notice that flowers and like an old suit of armor is set beside him. That there are a couple of axes that are basking in a big bowl of holy water upon the altar of Moradin, kind of off to the side. The place is screened a little bit, sort of like a mosquito netting, almost gossamer sort of like a curtain that allows some privacy as you approach. This really old dwarf, I mean really old, like his beard doesn't even hang on his face anymore. It's just kind of like this slight curly beard that they've put rings in, but they had to like stuff bits of like stuffing behind the rings to keep them from falling off of his wrinkled face. He looks more gnome or some other race at this point in time, but he's sitting there and he's calm. He looked like in the brief moment as some other petitioners or well-wishers had gone off, he like was taking a quick nap. Ancestor Karos sees you. Brennos, good that you're here. He clasps your shoulder like you're more battle brothers than anything. You have surpassed Ancestor Karos in power. You relate that to that you've called out to many gods and done great deeds, whereas Ancestor Karos went a different path and he tends to temple. Ancestor Karos was a acolyte when you were growing up and also becoming a priest. You probably became priest at the same time.
Likely, Karos has higher sort of social standing or power in terms of
yes,
like community standing higher.
Yeah, because he doesn't just show up every few months.
He just walk in once in a while,
dump a bag of gold, say a few things, and walk away. Right? yeah. He tends to.
He's got what they call the social.
Well, he also tends to everyone's bobo and wound and complaint along the way. Yeah. There are advantages, Brennos, that you know that wandering around as a itinerant priest of many religions just gives you an excuse not to be beholden to these, to a lot of, social responsibility.
Yeah, if you look at my thing, my thing has a lot of chaos and not a lot of law going on these days.
He glances down at the prominent holy symbol of Baronrar True Silver. An interesting choice.
We've had some interesting conversations with I met an interesting lady. I thought it was high time to give Madame Truesilver her due.
I need a second. He's not going to be able to hold axes, let alone do the deed.
Aye.
He's lived an honest life. This is Augalor Bonecrest, a craftsman of several pursuits, a merchant, a father, a brother, a grandson, a grandfather, a great-grandfather, head of a clan, in good standing with Moradin, and blessed by his fellows. He's predeceased by his wife of many decades. Over a century of marriage, in fact. And he seeks to go and visit her. He puts it in an odd way, though. You should speak to him. It appears that he may have given you a run for your money in his younger days. He adhered to call, which is like age of...
Yeah.
Like some sort of mandatory military service upon age of adult age kind of thing.
Between 18 and 45, he did the thing, and
he
now
did
he's
a thing or
102.
enough of the things to, pay his debt.
Yeah. I'll speak with him, of course.
His eyes like spring open, almost like surprising. He looks around the room like he's nervous. Ancestor Karos goes forward. Don't be nervous. It is only Brennos, the bearded.
Brennos will approach.
He's looking not at Brennos. He was startled by something else, Brennos.
Ooh.
I hear you. Yes, this is Brennos. Augalor, this is Brennos. And he puts his hand in Brennos' hand, and now he's looking at you. I hear you, he says at you.
I hear you too. I am Brennos, Augalor.
Shining in the sun. Streaking across the sky. Your scales like shields have polished me through. Beard wise with age.
Do you know of this dragon?
I see you. I hear you. I'm going to join the dwarven gods. He says he's now looking up at Brennos. And not off at something else.
Yep. You'll join the gods, you'll see your wife.
Yes. Dava will be there, my darling. As will the others. And he mumbles a few names that perhaps he's having a hard time forgetting. Or a hard time remembering. The call to the arms echoes across the mountain. I will march with them. The dwarves, high on the mountain, are leaving their halls. The bells have been rung. Even though the horn has not sounded.
It's not called Dwarf Home. Moradin's Mountain is called.
Actually, I think it is called Dwarf Home. Give me a second.
Is it called Dwarf Home? Is that the reason why I keep wanting to call things like?
I'm pretty sure it's Dwarf Home as well.
It is Dwarf Home. Okay. Because I was like, it's called Dwarf Home. I'm like, it can't be called Dwarf Home, you dum dum.
Home plane, Dwarf Home. It's on Mount Celestia.
Mount Celestia. That was what I was trying to. It's part of Mount Celestia. So yeah, that was the one I was trying to think of. They're leaving Dwarfham.
Yes. They waited too long. The horn was supposed to call, but it never was blown. Altagar never blew the horn.
Altagar. Do I know of an Altagar?
No?
Okay. I'm going to write down Altagar, the betrayer. Didn't. Altagar didn't blow the horn. And Altagar is probably going to get associated with an accolade of like the opposite of dutiful, but you know, like
Maybe it's just Altagar the Breathless because he was out of breath. And
so.
But Moradin would not be shamed by tear. And guns and cannons ring across the dwarven realms. Dwyer, she will not succeed.
What is she trying?
War. She does not listen. She does not march in rank. The dwarves will have to clean their own house before they can join the other gods and find out why the horn was not blown.
Do you make any sense of this? Says Ancestor Karos.
Bits and pieces, although I need fancy pants.
Pants.
We go to war, and I will march with them again. It will be good to walk. Dava will be there, and my dog will be there, and we will march to the beat of the drum and sing songs for the glory of
How did Dwera not fall in line? Why is she going to war against the dwarves, or is she fighting another enemy?
Always enemy. Different are them. Different. Different minds. We must clean our house before we will not be dishonored. It's all right, Algar. Argalor, there are many here from your life that are here to pay tribute to you, to give you blessings. Yes.
I'll hit him with a calming touch.
Okay.
Which heals him of some non-lethal damage and removes sickened, fatigued, and something else. Just as a... He's old. He's probably not feeling good. Sickened, fatigued, shaken.
Okay.
And a bunch of non-lethal damage. Which he might also have being ancient.
Alright, so you touch him. He kind of surprisingly grabs your hand and, I see you. And it feels like you are the wind tunnel through which one dwarf, this mighty dwarf of light, is cascading through the tunnel, and there's something silver scaled or platinum scaled on the other side. When he said that, and you could just stumble back from.
I'm gonna keep his. So now we're doing the whole like. gonna try to touch him and the sword at the same time and see what the heck. I'm not gonna draw the sword because that's kind of antisocial.
Okay. He closes his eyes and starts whispering. Ancestor Karis is helping hold up this old man. And he starts whispering things to the sword. And Brennos, give me a spellcraft or a knowledge religion. You can add 2 circumstance.
Okay. We will go for knowledge religion.
If you have 5 ranks in the other one.
I don't have the other one. It's fine. 26.
How many good or law points do you currently have?
I have a law point. I did a bunch of stuff, Dave, but So I'm here to help with my problem.
All right.
You're trying very hard, and we're all very proud of you.
He's whispering, "I see you, I hear you. And for those who are worthy, you should help." And Brennos is learning that the entity that is in the blade has spell-like abilities that you can coax out of the blade by spending good or law points. And the good or law point spell-like abilities are as such, and the numbers are the level of the spell or the also the number of points.
Come on. There we go. Shield other aid. Well, that settles the... Sword ain't gonna like what I'm gonna be doing next. I mean, not necessarily next, but...
He kind of passes out into a nap after he somehow gave you this knowledge. Karis is now, like, asking you to go off to the side. Like, you seem to put strain on him. We can't have him dying before the ritual.
He's led an interesting life. He certainly wasn't a paladin or something in his youth.
The Bone Chests are an old clan.
He's looking across like like it's a good sampling of his family. Do any of them carry like dragon motifs along? Like they all just like, I'm a dwarf and I do stuff, and it's,
No.
It's like,
There's a bunch of merchants and nobles of dwarven kind.
there's something wrong, Karis.
In fact, they look like the exact opposite of warriors.
Yeah. There's something wrong, Karis.
In fact, if you thought about it, you're like, those are the group that I would think doesn't have the dwarven hardy trait. Those are the ones that, sickly city dwarves.
Civilized.
Yep.
It'd be like the gnome if the gnome didn't have magic.
And a creeping dark thought enters your mind. Is that the fate of your race?
Well, if you want to make me join Slake, the quest of like, break all the magic. Why? No more creating water. Go carry water up the hill. Too bad. Go to the lake, get a bucket, pull it back up. Oh, I can just create water. Too bad. Bucket. No. Once the ceremony is done, we're going to need to talk.
Okay. You end up having to spend some time with the ceremony. After all have been done, they bathe him like in holy water. They sing praises to the gods, and then in a private chamber, you help effectively with 2 axes that have been blessed by Moradin, help slit veins, and he dies quietly in a tub. And you are certain that his soul rises, that you see it, glorious and golden, and it is invited into the halls of Dwarf Home. Ever so distinctly you thought you heard drumming and the sounds of boots marching and dwarves singing as the soul departed. Praise be to Morden. May his soul receive its final rewards. I would say rest, but he looks over it. It does not.
No, not rest.
It does not sound like a restful place.
These are not restful times.
The high priest would not perform this ceremony, so it fell upon me to, after much argument with his clan, the clan members do, with priests helping, they wash his body, and then bring him to the place where he'll be interred.
You did the right thing. It's tradition.
It's an old one, though. I had to even spend some time researching what we needed to do. It's not a common thing. Most people enjoy being alive. And those that don't usually have the comfort and wherewithal and money to do what he did.
He didn't make decisions because of enjoyment or lack thereof. He was driven. He's off to war. He knows there's war here. He knows there's war there. He's off to war. The gods are...
He certainly was chatty with you.
Are we surrounded by people right now?
No, you go off to the side to a smaller shrine. Like somebody godly in their stealth could be spying on you, but there's other stuff. Of course. And then the hammering.
I like how you chose the term "godly," by the way.
Yep. And then the hammering of the people reworking the construction of the temple.
Maybe
stuff.
like a 12th level pixie rogue that might exist in the city or something.
Yeah.
The
ones that showed up the next day and found guards all swarming around the Happy Beggar, and then if they managed to sneak in, a big blocked off.
A big
stone
fuck you
area.
block. Yeah.
Hey, there's no. I can't door.
And if they got through that, the portal gone.
The portal's still there right now.
We haven't moved the portal yet.
Yeah.
How do I put it? The gods aren't behaving like normal.
Hmm?
I called out to Darinka because
he's kind of like, "Hey, what are you saying?"
He's like, and he showed up.
Why did you do that?
It was important. Many were dead, and I needed to get a message out. I was trying to save
He still
lives.
doesn't follow your.
Yeah. Many people were slain at the temple. While at the temple, I needed to call back to the city to let them know that there was violence and armies afoot, armies on the move.
Yeah, I heard you all played an instrumental part. Apparently there was a second army we didn't know about.
There was actually 2 other armies, or the first army that we had to deal with was at the temple. It was trying to take Sejong, and they had They weren't a problem.
You flooded the underwater tunnels, didn't you?
Aye, we did that. That I did. That, no question about it.
You did.
I did. Aye.
Have you considered receiving an atonement for this?
It wasn't the first thing on my list, but I could. I thought I needed an atonement for other things that I did. But I slew an enemy army.
They drowned.
Aye. Hopefully no innocents got caught up in the mess. God's willing. That being said, the you-know-who physically showed up.
Are you sure it wasn't some sort of demon or trickster?
No, it wasn't. Trickster, obviously. Demon, no.
Like an avatar?
Possibly.
An aspect, even, would still be. Did you cast a spell that summoned him?
Not a spell. Nothing that they told me would summon him. Nothing.
You
no
were,
summoning.
you were
no
tricked, or
binding.
you ate the wrong mushroom.
No. That's not what happened.
This happened at
prayed.
the monastery that is holy ground to Moradin.
It happened in the courtyard.
And Moradin's great beard. There's no way you would allow him to skulk around like that. Not in one of his temples. Fear not. If this devil tricked you, Moradin was there to protect you.
Listen, I wasn't tricked. I was tricked, but the fucker showed up. He showed up. He got into the mind of a friend of mine, and then somehow got into Sejong and drove him mad.
That's why Sejong was mad?
As far as I knew. He's driven
Brennos.
by...
I've spent years counseling and helping the common folk of Nine Bells. Dwarves that have nowhere to go come here for sanctuary. I've cured many a cataract and a forgetting disease once, and so much
Probably a fair share of foot fungus.
foot fungus and aching bones of old people. You talked to the old man and got the wisdom of the gods. You seem to be acting kind of funny around that sword, whispering to it, and now you're telling me that mad dwarven gods are appearing to you physically when you call upon their name.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. And I
Mo-
need help understanding what the fuck is going on.
When I pray to Moradin, I feel his presence when I receive his spells and know that I am on his side. You should be very careful going forward to whom you pray and what you ask. Perhaps you are like Quicksilver, or like a lightning rod.
You heard the old man.
Spells to you always came easy. Perhaps it is because you are strong and the gods need us as much as we need them.
He sounded lonely.
You trudged up a day to have a chat, did you?
I didn't say I was lonely. I said he sounded lonely.
Did you braid each other's beards and exchange recipes?
No, but he probably. I suspect that'd be a thing that he would have been off to do. It was very odd. It wasn't what I expected.
I am a priest of a very humble temple that somehow has received at least some blessing from some nobles and from a clan who is willing to, because I was willing to perform a ceremony that is a bit grey for the Moradinites of the upper society. I don't know about these things, Brennos. I will pray for you and ask Moradin. Wait, have you tried praying to Moradin and asking him? Ah! You're afraid to talk to Moradin, are you? Did you come to his temple and help me with this sacred ritual?
You're not wrong. Wesley.
Now you wonder why bad things happen to you. Are you all right?
Well, he talked to me. Moradin, that is, from the temple. After Sejong went mad. He showed me this a sign. There's something out there that needs slaying. I'm just not 100% certain what it is yet. But when I see it, I'll know.
Moradin is a battle god. He had to battle orcs, elves, giants.
Ahmed?
Sorry?
You got something ridiculous going on your end.
Wind tunnel.
Thank you.
It's Ahmed, like, it's his refrigerator fan.
Yeah, right.
Blizzard coming out of his refrigerator.
Microwave or something.
Yeah.
Aye. So, you're telling me that you knew I'm gonna have to talk to her, right?
Who?
The Axe Princess.
Princess of the Deep? Why? What would she tell you that Moradin could not?
Well, I need to talk to both of them.
And you're going to be the judge of the gods.
I'm not judging nothing, but if she's not acting in alignment with the dwarves need to fight together. You heard the man. They need to clean house. You can clean house by wiping out half of it, or you can clean house by... But Moradin doesn't understand the need for balance. It's not as balanced as it should be. His rigidness drives out the others.
This is too much, Brennos. I live a simple life here as a priest. You're talking about things that are happening in the houses of the gods. What are we going to affect that? We're not even going to know what happens there till we die.
He knew.
I mean, perhaps because of his great age and his good standing, he was able to get a glimpse, but he was 1 foot into the mausoleum.
Right, well, best get on the great age and fine understanding then. Great deeds.
You're a warrior. Have you
Aye.
ever been close to death?
Aye.
You see anything? Did the gods speak to you then?
Not close enough for them to speak to me.
Well, you're saying that they're starting to appear.
Right, I'm saying that, well, crazy uncle showed up.
Maybe it's just a crazy way. I can't tell you what that is worth. My heart has always been for Moradin, and it always will remain for Moradin.
In the Nexus, there was a temple that hadn't been prayed at for a long time.
Oh? And?
we gave him an offering, dropped a prayer before bringing the place down.
That sounds good. Did you have anyone appear before you then?
No.
Hmm.
Only the crazy ones, apparently.
Well, perhaps you need to pray more.
Perhaps I do.
That's it. He goes over to an alcove. He gets a very thick tome that is the Holy Canon of Moradin and puts it into your hands. The book is heavy. It's like metal covers and.
All right. We pray, and there's an interesting thing here where, if Dwera is doing something weird, like because I haven't prayed to Dwera or Laduger at all. Like it's a thing I should probably do at some point. And to learn about stuff, guess who's the dwarf god with the knowledge domain?
Who's that?
Dwera.
Dwyer? Deep Dwyer? Yep. You're pretty sure you'd insult Ancestor Karos if you did that here.
Oh, I ain't happening here. That's for sure. There's another one.
There's a back alley prayer. You want to see.
All right, we're going to consider that Brennos visiting temple, and you should mark down the powers of your sword somewhere. I pasted those in there.
It's under the sword.
Okay, cool. Barnabus had one thing. Actually, I'm going to go to a conversation between Slake and Thogrim.
Sure.
Go back to the city of Overlook, where the golem is. I thought you would have turned that thing on by now.
It's going to take a lot more money than I have.
Money?
I don't have enough. I've learned the magics that I need. I just don't have enough money.
So I'm half dwarf still, right? There's enough dwarf bits in me.
You are dwarf.
Yeah, I mean component bits.
Have a seat.
He sits on one seat. You could hear it, the wood straining.
Or just stand, really.
I understand.
He kicks the chair into kindling, and then spends the next few moments picking it up as he's talking, picking up the sticks and chucking them into the fireplace.
I don't have heal, but I want to use craft.
Wait,
weapon.
shut up! It took me a while to figure it out.
He takes one of the bits of wood and is chewing it into splinters.
So, if I'm half dwarven and half this thing, and this thing is half magic and half not magic, that means I'm half dwarven, quarter not magic, and a quarter fucking magic.
Well, hold on a second. Not really. You see, the magic part of this is what tells it to move. It's what commands it.
Oh.
But if you were the one that you choose your own path. There's no magic controlling you. You control yourself.
So wait, you're saying because I'm not stupid like this thing is, I'm not magic?
Would you mind? Do you mind if I'm not casting a spell on you. I'm casting a spell to see if there's magic on you.
Fine.
Okay, I'll cast Detect Magic.
Okay, give me a caster level check.
$28.
Mark, your dog is eating food.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sure it's delicious.
No, you don't sense any magic on Slake. There might be a little bit of a glow coming from one of his pouches, because I think for a while he carried around a potion of... Yeah, he's got 2 magical potions he's forgotten about. There's a little bag with a little glimmer of magic coming from it.
Let me see your pouch.
Yeah. He takes it. Careful, there's lots of poison and stuff in there. And he pours out, I don't know, like something like 20 or 30 vials of stuff. And there are 2 of them that are glowing.
Shh. Grab. These 2 are magical.
Oh yeah, that's the one that makes my hands magical. I don't need that anymore. He takes it and...
50 gold pieces.
Yep.
All right, and then I'll...
Yeah, that one's the true strike. Yeah, you didn't see that.
I'm going to... Yeah, I'll detect magic. I'm going to try to get in between the joints.
Okay. Yeah, you're looking. You're not getting an aura from from Slake.
Slake, I'm not getting anything from magic.
Yeah. Okay.
As far as I can tell, you're not magic at all.
That's what Barnabus said, and that's what Agony said. So,
What is it? What's bothering you? What's on your mind?
are you gonna learn things about iron golems by doing this?
Yes? This is an iron golem.
And one day,
Like-
if I need to be taken apart or putting back together or something,
I'd be able to help you.
all right, I'll lend you your money.
You will?
I've got about 35 grand that I've been sitting on. Don't got nothing to do with. You're gonna pay me back with a bit of interest. I know what that is.
Shit. What?
How much do you need?
Carry the one. Hold on. Scrolling down.
This comes with the favor of helping me with something related to, what the fuck I am, the monster that I've become.
Slake. I doesn't do that anyways.
Yeah, but this way, I get to punch your teeth out if you don't.
I assume you do that anyways. I need 30,600.
Yeah.
And 3.
All right, you'll have it by morning. I'll need to count it out. 30,603.
603. I'll take the change out of the
No, he counts out every gold piece, and by morning you have a box of money.
You should have just borrowed 31 and gotten a couple bells and whistles there, like leather seats or whatever.
Well, does that include your modifications that you want to make, or is that afterwards?
This will be a shield guardian iron golem with an amulet that allows him to control the golem. The amulet could be any other 300 gold piece item.
And he could make mods at a later point.
At a later time, because it's now his golem,
His,
he can craft it. He can craft mods.
Now can I put the spell in like Ant Hall? Because I wanted to carry cannons.
You can command golems to drop their SR.
But I want it to be a permanent thing. So can I craft it?
No, none of what I'm talking about. All of what you're talking about is extras on top of creating the golem.
So this is my template, and I'll work on top of it.
Yep.
All right.
Of course.
Slate.
What was the? Give me a second. 140,000 divided by 2 minus the.
It was 47,500.
That's the craft cost. Times 2 is 95 days to craft.
Fast craft?
Fast craft divided by 2 is 47 days to
Can you
craft.
make the DC on a fast craft? Or are you going
That's
to
the
make
thing.
a cursed
So-
golem? Cursed golem would be.
We're
fucking
already at
hilarious.
the like something else is going to happen with this downtime, but you've got the materials and
So it's DC 36,
yep,
and I have DC
you have a plus.
plus 25,
So
plus
you,
Crafter's Fortune's 30,
so you take 10 and get a 40.
get a 40.
Fast craft of 36 is DC 41, so no, you have
Can't
to
fast
roll.
craft.
Sorry?
You either have to roll or fast craft.
Regular craft or roll.
Roll a fast craft. Or, hold on, can I get something to increase that?
Magical tools would probably be the right thing.
Yeah, let's
Slake,
Plus
would-
4
Slake,
tools.
would- Slake would lend you his tools because of the bargain. His tools are plus 4 instead of plus 2.
Okay, then I can just do it. 45 days.
And you enchant his tools on him and laugh because we're like, oh, magic now, you can't use them.
Alright, and not a fucking word to the others, so don't forget the outfit.
I just found these tools. Oh, they're Slake's. Oh. Yes, I know. What potion? Crack.
Yeah, you slap his hand and you're like, ow.
Yeah, I'll start working on it.
Yeah, okay, so you start making your plans. You're like, yeah, I'll project manage this before I start.
I
diving
still
into
didn't get a chance to see my master.
So Slake,
Master's old anyway.
I want to know what happened at the defense. Why the hell was he unreliable? I just didn't get.
Because he's drunk.
Barnabus was researching Castle in the Swamp. Give me, from what perspective, what knowledge base are you going to use this?
Mark, you should pull the microphone down to your mouth now.
Are you sure you can't hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, we can hear you good,
We
yeah.
can hear you.
Okay.
You just call him problems, man. Fucking guy.
I know.
Can't get me track.
Audio weeb.
We will start with. I don't know, knowledge history, and maybe based on descriptions through historical accounts, we can figure out some geography.
Okay.
He'll take 20 on the knowledge history. Oh wait, let me double check something. I want to make sure I can take 2 10s at this point. Yep, twice per day. Okay. So the knowledge history is plus 35. Can Aemon help? Just a second. Sorry. Aemon has not got history, so he can't help me there. Alright, he's not helping. So it's he'll use his inspiration for an extra 1. That gives him a 56 on the history.
Okay, you're trying to figure out where there might be a castle in the swamp by going through historical accounts. Is there anything else that you're using to help guide your search?
Well, I mean, based on the clues too, we know it's I don't know, where's it?
What about geography? How long the name has been around versus when it was named in comparison to when the swamps were there? Like, when were there swamps and when was it named?
Well,
Might give you a
it's
better
swamps there as long as like the Imperium's been there. So
Yeah, okay. If it doesn't change, cool.
So we know Drellin's. It follows down to Drellin's Ferry, and so it's around the delve. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, you end up getting a historical account. It's not necessarily a map, but you end up getting a historical account which feels like you're getting close. That describes
A lord or something.
a swamp that was managed by the elves of Thundertree. That when Thundertree disappeared, the swamp went wild.
Okay.
And that there is a castle on the far side of the swamp from Thundertree that the owners of the castle decided it was too dangerous to continue to occupy, and that part of Elsir Vale was simply ceded to the wilderness.
Okay. He'll just leave it at. We'll go to Thundertree to investigate there.
Okay. We'll say you got that far in a day. You have a 5-day block.
Okay. Yeah.
So the next day, do you continue the research?
Where's? I don't see Thundertree on the map.
Exactly.
All right. Let's find Thundertree.
Okay. Give me a knowledge geography.
All right. I will take 20. The next day gives me 45 plus 1d6. So 48.
Okay. Here lies Thundertree. This slight depression is the Sulphur Swamp.
Sure.
We'll call it the Sulphur Swamp. And here is the location of the castle that overlooks the swamp. We called it Castle in the Swamp, but it's actually on a bit of a hill overlooking the swamp.
Okay.
You probably are able to smell the swamp.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's awesome. He takes the next 3 days off and gets blind drunk. Victory!
Which, yes, is on the way. Like, if you go down through the mountains, through the vents, you could end up in Delve through the back ways, and then you could end up at the castle and then deke to Thundertree, or go in some other. You could come down out of the mountains this way and go to Thundertree first and up to Delve.
Well, he makes sure to make the additions to our map.
Okay. Barnabas, while enjoying some whiskey and brandy in the library, updates the map. You're like, yep, I made a dot and I wrote a name in. You're like, yep, good, here and here.
I am brilliant. He tries very hard to get the half Nagaji drunk.
No, he does not. He's not interested.
That's why the word try was being used.
All right. Sunny wants to go and find Doaki.
He should be done sleeping by now, I would assume. And if
Yeah,
not,
unless he slept in late.
that's fine. He could have slept in. We'll go just spy on him. He needs a
Teenagers, I
backup
tell you.
Well, he's just a young pup. This is
Toddlers, I tell you.
Hatchling. Yeah.
He's about to look like he'll be potty trained by the next size category.
Yeah, wormling to very young.